It's Chris Beyer.
Chris Bowling, how are you, CB?
Good. And who's this guy we have?
Who's
Mr.
this?
Brad
I'm
Johnson.
gonna sneak in. Brad Johnson,
The bottom line guy.
Brad,
the bottom line.
welcome to Bottom Line Thursday. And I do like to say you now have Wisconsin on the back wall.
Nice.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're growing the empire. I like it.
It is. It took a while. The first one I ordered was the short version of Wisconsin, so I had to get the bigger size.
Yeah. It's a really wide river, but I like the layout. It's
Yeah,
very nice. Anyway, I digress. So we wanted to talk today about some of the challenges in the pharmaceutical space. Imagine that. We've talked about these many times, but one more thing has come up that one of the drug makers is suing patient assistant programs for specialty medications. And we know that that is a program that is out there for a lot of employers. A lot of members take advantage of that patient assistance program. So what's unique about this, and what are you seeing that maybe we need to be aware of as we're talking with our employer groups in the marketplace?
Yeah, I think most of our groups that we have probably struggle at some point, and most likely right now, with the increasing cost of specialty drugs. And they look at what they spend now versus what they did even 3-4 years ago. It's just skyrocketed. And so as budgets get strained, employers were looking for creative ways to, hey, how do we address this? We want to make sure our employees still get the life-saving medications that they need. And so some really creative solutions came up that really, I'll use maybe the term exploited, but drug makers offered patient assistance programs that people were either uninsured or underinsured. And there were third parties that found a way to tap into that. Perhaps even if the plans wouldn't cover those drugs, they'd find a way for the drug maker to cover those drugs. And then the member gets it, and the plan, saves all that cost from having to pay full price on it. So clever, creative, definitely. But like any of those things, I call them almost cottage industries. They tend to have a lifespan, or at least some type of limitations. Well, the drug makers is becoming a big enough thing now where it's hitting their bottom line. So AbbVie, the maker of Humira, I can never pronounce that correctly, Humira, doesn't matter, and a host of other large specialty drugs, actually came out and is suing one of those firms that really helps employees get access to these patient assistance programs. I don't know all the details of it. I'm sure more to come. But anyhow,
on the flip side of that, that so many of those drug manufacturers were offering the coupon program. So you see that advertised today that you can get your Humira for $5. You can get it for $10. And how was that being funded? That was being funded on the back of the insurance plan, the employer plan. So I don't know. I think in both cases, isn't it fair that just everybody gets a little bit of piece of the pie?
For years, it took the insurance carriers a lot of effort to figure out how to not apply that towards the individual's deductible and out of pocket. So they paid $5, but when the claim came through, it showed that the patient paid the full cost of the drug. So for $5, they met their annual deductible and their annual out of pocket. And I remember we were like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So like you said, Chris, I understand where they're coming from, and they don't want to get taken advantage of, but they have taken advantage of this industry for years. So welcome.
Yeah, the hypocrisy actually had me laughing when I read this. Oh boy, it's just, each side has their own reasons to figure out how do we do this. And what's interesting though too, so I even took a look at AbbVie's application if you want to get Humira. And now they even list on page 2, if you're so bored, to check it out, because you can get Humira for only $5, but go through these processes. But they list a couple of these companies by name. So there still are ways to get this drug through patient assistance, but if you happen to use one of these named intermediaries, no more.
Wow.
Because we have clients that are using patient assistance in that situation. We have a lot of our nonprofit organizations that due to the cost of their health plan, that their employees' incomes are low enough that they truly do qualify because of the way that it's structured. It's not so much that as you said, it was like the system that was just plugging everybody in all the time. And those named in the suit, they're on the bad list now, apparently.
Yep. So I think our secret sauce at AP is we know which providers are still allowing that, still are on the approved list to do
Right.
that. So that's the trick.
Good stuff, Brad. Thank you once again for bringing
Thank you.
all of our attention. Well
You
done.
betcha.
All right. Enjoy your afternoon.
You too. See
Thanks.
you guys.
See you.